always been my passion to be at the beach. As a single mother, a move to the beach was not financially doable. 2 or 3 years ago, I started entertaining the idea of a timeshare. You know, this was an opportunity for mini vacations. I was completely taken advantage of, like many people out there who were doing the exact same thing as I was.
You can go anywhere, anytime. That's the great line.
When in reality, it is a lifetime of debt.
The timeshare companies are not slowing down.
I would describe them as ruthless. There is a company out there that can possibly help.
Chuck McDowell works with timeshare owners who feel they've been duped into a bad decision.
There was no timeshare cancellation business until, Chuck did what he did.
We are the only people to date that have taken Wyndham all the way to trial and prevailed.
If somebody calls you and tells you they can sell your timeshare for more than you owe on it or more than you paid for it, it is an absolute 100% scam.
He had the guts to fight against, a timeshare giant.
We get over 3,000 complaints a week.
Chuck very much cares about what's right and taking care of people and standing up for others.
It's a continual war with the timeshare industry because they don't want me helping the clients that they've sold. Hello. Hi.
You're the man of the hour. I am a Southern girl, absolutely.
Well, good. You got a double hug.
There you go.
At 59 years old, I finally have realized why I'm here. I was put on earth to learn the fine art of sales to help people. Born in Nashville, Tennessee, and my childhood was different. My mother and father had divorced when I was, I think, 2 or 3 years old. My father was an alcoholic, so I didn't see him every other weekend. I would be the poorest kid in school and get picked on, and we had churches bring food by. At Christmas, we had churches bring in toys by. Kind of chokes me up a little bit. I remember being just a little boy and looking at my mother, trying to figure out why this man was standing at the door with a box of presents that he didn't know us. How could you buy a present for somebody you don't know? And I didn't understand why, but I saw my grandparents every other weekend, which was actually a joy. McDowell Enterprises was formed in the 40s. We built all original interstates in Tennessee, and my goal was to run that company. I went to Middle Tennessee State University in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, so I could conveniently go back and see my grandparents. My plan was to go to college, graduate college, become CEO of McDowell Enterprises. About 3 years into college, my grandfather invited me to dinner, and he made the announcement that they'd sold the company. And I was thinking, what am I gonna do? Just walking in, I ain't seen you in a while, man. What's up, buddy?
I know.
We got matching.
Look at this. Except
Well, matching. Decided just to leave college, and that's when I started my first business. I had a company where people paid me to tell them who to bet on in a sporting event, Music City Sports. In 1987, I left that and became a stockbroker. In 1993, Cameron Edward McDowell came along. I called him Cam Man for years.
Growing up, my father was always a ball of fun.
They both were really good athletes growing up. I had them involved in every sport they could possibly be involved in. We did a lot of fishing. I grew up on a lake, and my grandfather took me fishing literally 3 or 4 days a week.
On the move.
My brother and I had best parents on the planet.
I was young, still young, married, 2 young children, and continuing to try to work for myself and work my own hours. Life was good. I believe there was a reason why God put me in each spot to prepare me for 2002. My first wife of 20 years died in her sleep.
It's rough. I was 13, and I remember just feeling completely confused and scared.
We just try to stay together as a family.
13 and 9 are tough years to lose your mom.
My father, every morning after that, he would get up, take my brother and I to school.
I would come back home and go to bed. And I would wake up and set my alarm for 2 in the afternoon, get up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and take a shower, and go pick them up, and act like I've been working all day.
My brother and I had no idea.
I was not mentally okay. And I was at a spot in life where I had no idea how to get out of it. I curled up in a ball for 3 years. And I kept thinking, I'll be okay tomorrow. I'll be okay tomorrow. And finally, after 3 years of this, I woke up and I didn't have any money. I mean, I had to ask a man one day for $20 to buy Kentucky Fried Chicken for my family. He reached out and pulled $20 out and he threw it at me. I felt less than a man. And I decided right then that God didn't take me here to leave me here. I was brushing my teeth and heard a DJ in Nashville, Tennessee on the radio. He said, I want people to call in, tell me what you do for a living and how much money you make. Plumber, I make $70,000 a year, and I'm an attorney and I make $500,000, and I sell timeshare, I make $250,000. And I went, what? Next thing you know, I was in the timeshare business. Timeshare was a great idea.
Back in the day when they first started, they called them fixed weeks. And back then, I think that was probably closer to a good deal for clients. They've gone away from these fixed weeks vacations where you knew you got 1 week each year wherever. Well, now they put them in points, and these points they supposedly can use in different places.
When I went to work at Wyndham, Nashville, highly intelligent people I met with, loved the people, loved the feel of the excitement. But the main thing that it did for me was it gave me a place to be every day. I call it getting back in the swing of life. I was told that timeshare sales was the NFL of sales. And there was a guy in Gatlinburg, Tennessee that was making $1 million a year. Thought I would work at Wyndham forever. But this is the ugly part.
Doyle Campbell and his wife Mindy went to the Wyndham Resort off McGavick Pike after getting a call that they'd won a prize.
You won a very expensive gift.
All the Campbells had to do was come here for a 90-minute timeshare presentation.
We told him from the start, no, we wasn't buying nothing.
They say the Wyndham employees refused to give them their prize until they'd been there nearly 5 hours, as the salespeople took turns trying to sell them a timeshare.
Oh, it was a scam.
But even worse, they say, was getting this letter several weeks later.
Thanking us for opening an account with PayPal.
He opened a $15,000 account on us that I didn't know nothing about.
According to the letter, the Campbells had gotten a $15,000 line of credit through PayPal during their recent visit to the Wyndham Resort's property.
I can't afford that.
Later, they discovered they'd also unknowingly applied for a Wyndham Rewards Visa card that same day.
The director of sales stood in front of me and the entire sales department one morning and said, "How many of you think that you're in sales?" And we all raised our hands. He said, "I should fire every one of you. This is not sales. This is a show. The bigger the show, the bigger the dough." And he had us all chant, "The bigger the show, the bigger the dough." We had one part of the office that was just a room of tables, and with 2 chairs on one side and one on the other. And that was for the front line. That's people that have never bought timeshare before. Then they had their in-house department. The in-house department is, our job is to go to their unit when they check in, find something that was wrong with their account, and to get them to come down to the sales office to fix it.
So they come down and then they start going through this pitch where the only way to fix what you have is to buy more.
The fine art of just simply asking questions and listening and giving the client what they're asking for is what sales is about. And seeing who can be the best liar is what I got myself caught up into. This one lady, I kept wondering why her sales numbers were so good. So I knew she had no sales experience. She told me she had no sales experience. And she was making a bunch of money, driving a beautiful Mercedes convertible. So I sat and listened to her presentation one day, and what she was saying was, at any time, this product is so good that at any time in the next 2 years, you decide you don't want it, Wyndham will give you double your money back. And I went, wow, is that true? And everybody's response was, it's okay till it's not okay. I went, what does that mean?
They could spend $50,000. The next day, you could put that on eBay for $1. That's what it's worth. Yes.
If you really want to see the desperate people, all you have to do is put in buy points for timeshares, okay? It's page 1 through 29, 870 listings, all of these desperate people. Either that or they're still disillusioned and thinking there's a chance that they're going to pay for their dues this way. And it's page after page after page. But you find one of them that allows you to choose a price, and you throw in $500. And inside of $500, you're going to find somebody trying to get rid of 50,000 points. And you know it costs them $100,000. You know, you're paying minimum $2 for one of those points. It really is, it's tragic. I found this out the hard way.
In my opinion, what the timeshare industry is it's an industry that takes advantage, the play on the situation of that this is an opportunity to give your kids a lifetime of vacations, when in reality it is a lifetime of debt.
I told a friend of mine, Glenn Delahaye, I said, Glenn, we were at dinner and I said, I've got to quit my job. He said, why? I said, because I'm lying to people for a living. And the last day I had a lady in her 70s and she said, Chuck, you're the most honest timeshare salesperson I've ever spoken to. And what that meant to me was I was the best liar she'd ever met in her life. And that was it. I was done. I quit, started calling people back that I'd sold timeshare to. This is what I said to you that was a lie. This is what you need to do to cancel it. A third of the people were happy I called. A third of them really were angry at me. And there was quite a few people who said, I knew you were lying every time we go on vacation. And then what happened was I had one person call me up and say that they were referred by a friend, that I helped a friend of theirs cancel a timeshare, and the lady offered to pay me $2,500. I went, I wonder if this could be a business. And boy, did I not have any idea of the plans that God had for me. When I was a young man, I grew up in a Methodist church. In that Sunday school classes or summer camps, where we had, that I remember a quote about John Wesley. Help people and do right and kind things. And I was probably 12, 13 years old. And I remember thinking to myself, but if I ever started a company on my own, I would name it after John Wesley, and just because I would want to use that quote as our business model. That would be what we would be trying to do, is help people every day, all day, for as long as you can. That quote is on our wall, and that's what we try to live by. It is important for me to help people that have been lied to about the timeshare industry. It's a battle and a war, but somebody's got to do it.
That you can tell that you have the heart behind it,
Yeah.
every single
Well,
person.
thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Everybody in here does.
2 or 3 years ago, I started entertaining the idea of a timeshare. It's always been my passion to be at the beach. That's where our hearts are. And really financially, a move to the beach was not doable. I was in the midst of a bit of a crisis situation, things going on in life, and I think I had a over desire to want to have an opportunity to go somewhere and to escape. And so I agreed to go to a presentation in Charleston and to really listen to what they had to say. And I actually had visited them twice, and that's how much of what I thought was an impression that they made on me to begin with. And I had saved some income tax money and thought I was doing the right thing. I went, everyone was friendly, bubbly, met with a gentleman to kind of take us around the facility, the grounds, to see what one of your opportunities would be. And then it got down to the point to where you went to talk numbers. And they, were presenting all the positives. This was an opportunity for mini vacations. You could add to the point system at any given time, so there wasn't going to be any type of outstanding balance, that I would have the yearly maintenance fee. It would not go up. And I would have an opportunity to pass it along to my girls. That's how I came to be a timeshare owner. The second time that they called me back, this was going to be the time that I was to go back and learn how to use my points. Or so I thought. But this was the point to sell me more points and to jump on the opportunity. I soon found out this is not about helping me learn how to use it.
No.
This is about me not wanting to hear what they have to say to invest more money in
And
it.
if you don't, they're gonna tell you you're stupid for not doing what everybody else is doing it. Yeah.
And I bought it in July with the anticipation of using it over my spring break in April. And I gave them time frames over the summer up through August before I would start back to teaching, and then even looked as far out as my fall break in October and Thanksgiving. And they could not find me 3 consistent days. Flags were going up left and right. So I never used anything. But after about 2 weeks in, I thought, I was told I could sell this or can I rent it out? We don't deal with that. Let me give you a 1-800 number that you can call. And then, of course, I never got to talk with anybody or speak with anybody.
The old rental program.
It's
a great investment. You can sell it anytime. If not, we'll just rent it for you. And then they don't answer the phone anymore.
So many lies and a whole lot of omission of information and just misled.
It's amazing they can still keep doing it.
It is. When I got the word of the release, I was so happy, but I wept with the fact that burden was off of my shoulders.
Oh, yeah. When you tell me how the burden was lifted from you and all that, I try to breathe. I take it in. It'd be nice if I could relax a minute and enjoy the fact that I've helped one person, which is you. I'm listening to you, and the sad part is I can't really enjoy it because the battle, it's like there's bombs going off around me while we're talking.
If I could go to Charleston and set up a business right across the road just to be a deterrent to all these people, because it's still happening every single day.
Right now, they've got an 80-year-old couple sitting there, and they're taking every penny they got.
2 days, 3 nights. Come and give us 90 minutes of your time.
Yeah. And 6 hours later, you buy.
There you do.
It's not our job to talk you out of your timeshare. If you love your timeshare, we're happy for you.
The people that we're trying to help are the people that we can prove that they've been lied to and misrepresented to enter into that agreement.
I'd say probably 85% of the people I talked to were lied to.
These people needed somebody to be there to help them.
The people that we help here at Wesley it's pretty crazy, because we deal with people that may have been married for 6 months. They bought a timeshare on their honeymoon. And from that situation, we go all the way to a lot of the elderly people that we meet. Those are some of the saddest stories, because some of these people are maybe $40,000 in debt on their mortgage, and they go in to talk to somebody at the timeshare company about getting out of that situation, and they sell them another one for $40,000. And they don't realize it until they've gotten home that that's actually what's happened. The horror stories are incredible.
To me, what sets us apart from everybody is we understand how to properly cancel a timeshare, and that's very hard.
Around 2013, my wife and I, we were in a store and we saw this advertisement, and it was 3 or 4 days vacation for free in fabulous Branson, Missouri. And we'd never been to Missouri, so it sounded good. We had to fill out a little slip, and it was like this contest for it, right? And on the bottom of it was, what are your main interests in a vacation and having vacations? And it was, I promised my wife, after years in ministry, that we would go on real vacations. We were called, we were told we won this fabulous prize of this vacation because the days that we chose were during the week. We got a bonus day. All of that was fabulous. And so we could drive to Branson and we could collect. And in hindsight, this was a spider's web. We went to this beautiful log cabin resort. It's a 3 or 4 story deal. Magnificent fireplace in the main greeting area. It was wonderful. I mean, I felt like a good husband for a minute. They take you back and sit you down and tell you that if you just pay him $8,000, you can have all of that. Internally, I was thinking, no, I am not going to sign for this. I'm not going to afford this. When we said no, it turned a corner and everybody was all depressed. But I would have moved the sun, the moon, and 3 stars to get her real vacations. And they used that against me.
And when you all were in Branson,
Sorry.
You take a minute.
You meet my wife, you would understand. Finally, the supervisor and our original salesman come back, and now they're both beaming and doing their happy dance, and they offer us a price that's roughly 50% of the original price. And dang it if that isn't within our budget. And it feels just like you're buying a house. And that is what they want you to understand, that you just bought a house, something real and tangible that's gonna serve you through the years, that's gonna bless your family and protect them. They want you to understand that this is an investment. The only problem is at no time do they mention the maintenance fees. Because while your membership fees are going to be $300 or $400 a year, your maintenance fees are going to be $1,200 or $1,500 a year and go up for every point that you own. And that's what they never tell you about. It got to the point where the maintenance fees were so high that I couldn't afford to take my wife on a vacation, even using the points. And so we ended up getting more credit cards from them and more debt with the credit union, in which they capped out that credit card and expanded it more. And then they managed to get the credit union to take some more. They stole from us. They were thieves. We were desperate. I was searching for any way out at this point.
When you think about Chuck, you think about fairness. You think about somebody who wants to hear all sides of a story and is compassionate for the truth. That's where he excels, and that's where the staff of Wesley excels in following his leadership.
Helping somebody who's providing a meaningful advantage, benefit, contribution, value to a segment of the market above and beyond the alternatives that's what we live for. I mean, he literally solves problems and gives them opportunity because he relieves them of a lot of monthly debt service that can be repurposed into lifestyle, reducing their other debt, having much more joy. So I think it's wonderful.
Oh God, the federal case was terrifying. I remember when we got served the paperwork and we all had no idea what was about to happen.
I didn't know what to expect. You watch it on TV, you see movies, and that's all I really had to go by. But months and months, years of deposition and what they call discovery. I remember calling my attorney the first time and saying, "What's discovery?"
Wyndham sued Chuck for a litany of things. I mean, tens and tens of things, most of which were completely baseless.
The David and Goliath. And this is who Chuck is. He's the David. And there's this monster conglomerate of timeshares out there. There's this organization that has stood up and was willing to do everything it could to put Chuck down and shut this business down. That was something that could have destroyed his family and him.
Quitting was never an option. I didn't see that as an option, although I came close many times. They broke me down.
He was stressed. It seemed like something out of a movie.
ugly. And it got personal, it got mean, and can't say where it came from. I just know that there were things that were happening I couldn't tell my kids. I was scared to tell my wife because there's nothing she could do.
It was early in our marriage, and it was really tough to watch him go through that. It was very stressful. And he kept saying this over and over to me, and I've thought about this many times. What we're doing is the right thing, and the right thing has got to prevail in this situation. We're not the ones doing something wrong. We're doing something right, and that's the way it turned out.
We are the only people to date that have taken Wyndham all the way to trial or fought them all the way to and through trial and prevailed.
I can fast forward now, and we at Wesley Financial Group have changed the timeshare industry.
We've gone from that small company with 20 plus employees to now we actually have 3 offices. It's gone from a little thing to a big thing, so it's been pretty exciting.
Last week, how many timeshares did we cancel? How many families did we help last week? Just last week.
Last week we canceled, it was just over 240 timeshares. Yeah. 240 families we helped.
Anybody have any clue how much debt that was? How much money?
It was right over $1 million.
Yeah, it was just a hair over it.
It's just really cool now that I get to walk in the office and see my sons every single day. And not only do I get to see them, I get to teach them any and everything that I know about business, and I've been able to watch them grow.
I think my wife's heard an ad on the radio, talk radio or something, and it mentioned this thing called Wesley Financial. So if they're affiliated with timeshares, can we trust them? And so I find them online and I call them up, and they arrange a meeting over the phone with both of us. And we talk to them, and there's hope.
We have over 3,000 people a week contact us wanting out of their timeshare. We help between 150 to 175. That's our average.
Our vetting system, it works very well. It's a 3-step process. First one is to make sure that they qualify, that it is a timeshare company that we do go up against. During that first call, basically information, how much they owe, who's it with, where's it located. The second call is a deposition-style questionnaire about how they were sold the timeshare to determine whether they were lied to or not. At the end of that call, the qualification specialist pretty much knows whether they qualify or not. If they do, they are set up with a third and final call with the vice president. On that call, we go over with them how this system works, what they can expect, the length of the program, and then if it is something that they qualify, and they want to move forward, when they want to move forward, we send the contract and proceed on.
And it's not an easy process. Our average time is over 280 days for the cancellation. It's not a quick, get you out quickly kind of thing. One of the things we track as an organization is how much debt we eliminated for timeshare clients of ours. And so last month, we eliminated over $3 million in debt in clients that owe timeshare companies. So I received this in the mail today from one of our clients, and this one really stuck out to me. We have a lot of people that thank us for our services and doing a great job, but this one was from a client in Virginia that wanted to personally thank us for the job that we've done. She said her son has been battling brain cancer and unfortunately lost his battle with brain cancer. The card says, "Dear Mr. McVeigh, we wanted to say thank you for your great kindness and willingness to get us out of our timeshare trap. There are no words to adequately express how grateful we are that you will not only take our case, but you did so pro bono. You and your company have been a huge blessing, and will be forever. Enclosed is one of the bookmarks that I had made for my son's memorial service. In case you haven't been told, I'll briefly explain. My sweet Zachary lost his 4-year battle with brain cancer. In the midst of his fight, he taught himself how to read, write, and speak Japanese. He even picked out his own life verse, and it mentions the Bible verse, and translated that into Japanese as seen on his bookmark. The Japanese writing on the bookmark is my son's actual handwriting, which is on the back here. It's the only Japanese I have that was written by him. This bookmark is priceless. I wanted to send you his bookmark so that wherever you see it, you may remember what a blessing you and your team are, and that we will be forever grateful. Pretty powerful.
We got it canceled. Now, did we lose the $35,000? Did they give us a penny back? Hell no. Did we have to pay Wesley Financial? Yes, we did. And we were happy to pay them because we were free and our children were free and our grandchild is free.
Hi, my name is Jim Greenwald, and I'm a very satisfied customer. We had gotten deeply entrenched in timeshare debt to the point where it was tough to make ends meet from paycheck to paycheck. Before the end of the year, I told Karen, we're calling Wesley Financial. We are going to see if this is what we need. It was just a tremendous, well-organized experience. Our finances are already beginning to see a marked improvement, no longer making these huge monthly payments. Very happy. There have been no snags, no hiccups, no hidden agendas. Very, very pleased with the service and can't say enough for it.
My name is David, and I was a timeshare owner. From the time I became associated as a timeshare owner to the time I ended my relationship as a timeshare owner was a time span of 4 years. And in those 4 years, I found that I was lied to consistently by every individual within that company. My annual fee at the end of my 4th year was nearly $10,000 in fees. I was being bled into bankruptcy. And if it wasn't for Wesley, I would be probably broke, because by the time I went to Wesley, I had already invested almost $70,000 in a timeshare that I never used, ever.
You know, Chuck's whole story is just amazing. You know, the amount of people that he is helping that he's never met, and how hard he continues to fight on a daily basis. And when you really think about the tens of thousands of families that he's affected that don't have that financial burden, it's pretty heavy. Sorry.
No, it's incredible.
One of the things that Chuck did probably a year ago is that, you know, he felt like with the company growing and being successful, he also wanted to make sure we're helping people that can't afford their services. So he gave me the permission to bring on 25, that ended up being 30 plus families that no charge. They came to us asking for help, could not afford their services, and we evaluated their situation and helped them get out of this mess, absolutely no charge.
What up, girl?
Hi, how's it going?
What are you sitting on?
How are you? Yeah, nice to see ya.
We really have a family feel in our company because of my father. That's he strives for that every day. Without that feel, it's just a corporation.
All right, that's a good picture.
When I talk to friends and I tell them that we have like a family business and we all work together, most of their responses are, how do y'all do that and not kill each other? And they're right. I feel like normally you shouldn't be able to do that as well as we do.
They are lucky to have that kind of experience and working under somebody like that. And it's their dad, which is, as I would imagine, would make a huge impression on them.
I think Chuck is a remarkable individual. Chuck has a heart that is as deep as a well.
He had some hard times as a young man, and it makes him really a compassionate person. I think he sees people that are vulnerable in different ways, whether that's someone who doesn't have enough food to eat, or whether that's someone who needs help with their timeshare. And so I think that makes him a real generous person.
For the company and for people around him, it's a magnet, because the world's dying for this kind of stuff. The world is dying for people who are real, who care, who want to help, and they don't want everything for themselves. Chuck's that kind of guy.
Met Mr. Chuck last year. Channel 5 News came by, and Mr. Chuck seen it. He gave me a call, came out, and he said, look, man, I want to help. I want to be a blessing to these kids. He said, I admire the work you do. I've been following you anyway. He said, but now I really got the opportunity to be able to make a difference. So he's been like an angel.
On a sunny afternoon, homeless women and children were picked up by Santa at the Nashville Rescue Mission.
I appreciated me and my kids.
They were taken to the church at Mount Carmel, where members prepare to distribute presents. In addition to the gifts, families received a free 2-night stay at a local hotel, as well as a gift card. The hotel rooms and gift cards were provided by the Wesley Financial Group.
Brandon, Chuck McDowell, Wesley Financial Group. Calling to tell you congratulations, buddy, on your court case to deal with Wyndham. Cameron, my youngest son, just showed it to me. And my legal team forwarded it to everybody here, so everybody here at the office knows about it. Just want to call and tell you congratulations, man. Keep fighting. Call me if I can help you. Bye. This was God's plan for me. And I know what my purpose is. And I'm going to continue to do exactly what he's brought me here to do, and until the job is done.
Hey, let's break it down to brass taxes, okay?
I purchased a timeshare in June of 1968 while traveling in Florida.
We were so excited to think that we could take vacations and take our grandchildren and family whenever we wanted to.
It became difficult financially and otherwise to actually use the timeshares.
That was used 3 times in a period of about 31 years.
And we knew we were lied to and pushed into it.
I have lost so much money on this piece of whatever you want to call it.
God somehow just landed Wesley into our lap, and
Wesley Financial Group has significantly helped me and my family.
I'm so glad we made the call, because from start to finish, they were very professional, kept us informed every step of the way.
And 6 months later, we are free from our timeshare.
Within 2 months, they had resolved the ownership.
It took about 3 months, and this was during the pandemic.
If any of you are looking to get out of your timeshare, Wesley Financial is the place to be.
If you are considering having your timeshare canceled, give Wesley Financial Group a chance.
The service is impeccable, meaning that they get back to you within 24 hours.
If you are in this situation like we were, I strongly recommend contacting Wesley Financial Group.
They really saved us. They really helped us. I can't thank them enough.
Thank you again, Wesley Financial Group.
thank you for your help. Thank you for being there and knowing what needed to be done.
We are free at last! Free at last! Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.